Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today it is our lecture number 9 of object-oriented programming. In this lecture, the topic of our discussion is this pointer. What is the importance of this pointer, and what is the role of this pointer in object-oriented programming? Before going to detail of this pointer, firstly we will discuss what is pointer. Pointer is a variable which stores the address of another variable. Each and every variable store a value, integer value, float value, character value, but this pointer is a specific type of variable which stores the address, not the standard value. For example, consider the following line of program code: int j is equal to 10. What does it mean? Int j is equal to 10. It means that computer has to reserve a memory location j in which we are going to store the value of 10. So computer has a memory location with label j. This is the area where computer will store the value of j, that is 10, and each and every location of the memory have a memory address. Let's suppose this memory location has memory address 1101. This is memory address. These are the contents of location, and this is variable name j. Let me have a pointer variable. Now we are going to declare a pointer variable int star p. This is pointer variable, and then in second line of code we are going to assign the address of j, and j mean address of j, to pointer variable p. So what the computer will do in response of these two statements, computer will create the memory location, and in this case in this time the content of this memory locations are not the standard value. Instead, the contents are related to address of a variable. So p is the memory location, that is variable name p. Contents are 1101, which is the address of j, and j mean address of j. Address of j is 1101. So computer will store here 1101, and the address of p variable itself is 2222. This is the memory address of p. So here the output of the following three lines of program code is same. Here computer will display the value of j. Here again the computer will display the value of j, and here the computer will also display the value of j. How computer will did it? J is equal to j. It means computer has to display the value of j. So this first line is the response of this first line. In next line, j is equal to p hyphen greater than symbol and then j. This is the notation of pointer. How pointer access the value of j? P hyphen greater symbol and then j. This syntax will access the value of j. It means display the value of j, that j whose address is stored in the location of p. So in the location of p, the address of this j is stored. So computer will display the value of 10 here. Second line is the response of this second line of code. What will be the response of this third line of code? Here computer will display j is equal to star p. What does it mean? Star mean value at address. Value at address. It means value at address p. P. The value of p is 1101, which is the address of j. Value at address 1101. Value of address 1101. 1101 address contains the values 10. So computer will display j is equal to 10. This slides actually was not related to this pointer, but this was just the basic concept of a pointer, how pointer works. Now in next slide here we are going to discuss the this pointer. Here again pointer is a variable which stores the address of another variable, but this pointer is an implicit class variable. Implicit class variable, it means a hidden variable, class variable, which store the address of those objects which belongs to that specific class. This will store the address of all those objects one by one. Those objects will belong to that specific class. It means each and every class of object-oriented programming has an implicit variable named this. Syntax of access. Syntax of access. The member of class with this pointer is as under. This pointer, F1 sign, greater than symbols, and then member data oblique function. It means in our next slides of the lecture we will see the following lines of code in our box class example. We are going to discuss this box class example. So here we will you will see these two line of code. What does this means? This is this pointer which has the address of an object, and this is the syntax F1 as we have discussed. This pointer, then F1, then greater than symbol. This is greater than symbol, and member data. Length is the member data of that box class. Or we will write here this pointer, F1 symbol, and then this is greater than symbols, and then member function. Member function of the class. We can also write member function of the class. This pointer will call member function of the class. This pointer will call member data of that class. This keyword, this pointer. Now we are going to explain this pointer. Every object in C++ has access to its own address. Every object in C++ has access to its own address through an important pointer called this pointer. This pointer is an implicit parameter to all the member functions. All the member functions shares this unique parameter. This is a C++ keyword. This always refers to an object because this stores the address of an object, so it will refer to that specific object whose address will be stored in the location of this that has activated. This always refers to an object that has activated the member functions currently. It means the current object address will be stored in the location of this. We can say that this is a pointer. It points to the object that has called this function this time. we refer to the data member of the calling object without any prefix. However, the data member of the other object had a prefix. Always this refers to the calling object in place of the object name. In our previous lecture number 8, I have taken this line of code from our previous lecture number 8, string class code. Here, this line of code belongs to the main program of that lecture, and this program of code belongs to the concat functions of a string class of that lecture. What does it means? Here, the function name is concatenate. You may see here void concatenate string s2. This is the name of function. Function name is concatenate. Main program is calling this function with the help of this b object. B object is calling concatenate, and the value of z is passing to s2. I have tried to relate them with the same colors. So the color of z is cyan color, and s2 is also a cyan color. So all the cyan color will belongs to this z, and all the black color will belongs to this b. So b is the calling object who is calling to concatenate function. Z is passing to concatenate functions, and s2 is the string object who is receiving the value of z. So here you may see this statement, we refer to the data member of the calling object without any prefix, because the calling object here is b. So str is the class data and it has no prefix before. You may see here str, it has prefix s2, str, it has prefix s2, but this str has no prefix because this belongs to calling objects. So in each and every function, if the class data is without any prefix, that class data will belongs to that calling objects. And this is the important property of a class, that every variable without prefix in each and every function of the class will belongs to the calling object, while the other data will belongs to the local objects or the objects who is passing the values to some other object. So here we are not going to discuss it in detail, but we are going to understand that b is the calling object and str without prefix variables belongs to this b, and with prefix belongs to this s2, and s2 has stored the value of z. This is our objective of this, the repetition of this code. Here we are going to explain these 4 lines of code here. In next box class example, you will understand the concept of this pointer in detail with the help of this example. This is a box, and the attributes of the box are the length, the breadth, and the height. These are the 3 attributes which belongs to this box. Each and every box will have a length, a breadth, and a height. So what we are going to discuss in our next slides, actually we are going to define a class with the name of box. So that box class will have 3 member data: length, breadth, and height. So box class definition: hash include iostream, hash include conio.h, and class box. This is the name of class, and this is the keyword class. Each and every class has 2 sections, private sections and public section. In the private section, we are going to declare the attributes of the box, that is length, breadth and height, which we have discussed in our previous slide. So here we are declaring that the box has a length, box has a breadth and box has a height. Length of box, breadth of box and height of box. This public section has three member functions. First one is the constructor. If a member function has the same name as that of the class name, that function is a special kind of function and it is called constructor. It has three parameters, double L, double B and double H, which has here the default value 2.0, 2.0, 2.0. Whenever we will pass some values to these functions, then those values will be stored in the location of L, B and H. And if an object has no value, then and that object is calling to this constructor, then this constructor will store the value 2 in the location of that object. But if some object has its own values, then those values will be passed to L, B and H, and those specific value will be stored in the location of that specific object. This is volume member functions, which will return a value double, because each and every data members of the class has the data type double. So these three data, three variables, length, breadth and height, these three class variables are multiplying with each other and creating the volume of a box, and the data type of that value, that is volume value, will also be a double data type. So it will return a double type. int compare box. This is a function which is comparing the two boxes, that the box 1 and the box 2, and returning the true or the false value. If the first box is greater than the second box, then it will return the value 1, and if the first box is less than the second box, then it will return the value 0. So this compare function will return the true or the false value by comparing the volume of the first and the volume of the second box. We will discuss these functions in detail in the next slides. Here the specific and the main thing is this, that each and every class of object-oriented programming or C++ has a specific an implicit parameter named this, and this is common for all functions. So this pointer is hidden and belongs to each and every class of the C++ program. What is the role of this specific variable or the pointer? We will discuss in the later slides. This is the main program in which we are going to create two objects of box class, box 1 and box 2. These are the length, breadth and height of box 1, and this is the length, breadth and height of box 2. And here box 1 is calling to compare function, and the value of box 2 is going to pass that function. So compare function will have the value of two box object, box 1 and box 2, and it will return the value true or false. So what will happen, we will see in our later slides. Here you may see how the computer will execute these first two lines of the main program. Box 1 3.0, 1.2 and 1.5, box 2 8.0, 8.5, 6.0, 2.0. These two lines, the purpose of these two lines and how the computer will execute these two lines, please look at here in this slide. Box, this is the class name. We are going to create the class variable, that is object box 1, and another class variable box 2, and these are the three values. These values will pass to the constructor, and the constructor will accept these three values and will store in the location of object. So what will happen here? Actually, the class will assign length, breadth and height location to each of its object. Length, breadth and height location to each of its objects. So here box 1 is the object of box class. So box 1 will have length, breadth and height. Box 2 is also the object of box class. So box 2 also have length, breadth and height. How this value will be stored here in the memory of length, breadth and height? Box 1 will call to the constructor. This is the constructor, and the value of 3.3 will pass to L, 1.2 pass to B and 1.5 will pass to H. So here this is L, this is B and this is H. They will receive the value of 3.3, 1.2 and 1.5 in the memory of L, B and H. These value will be passed and stored, and what the constructor will do, here you may see the constructor called. This statement will display that box 1 has called the constructor. You may see here we can refer each and every variable of the class with this pointer. Here you may see the address of box object is 100. What is the address of box object? It is 100. And when the box 1 will call to constructor, then this pointer will store the address of box 1, that is 100 here, and what will do here, length will have the value of L. Value of L is 8.5. 8.5 will be stored at location of length. Which length? There are two lengths. The length of box 1, and the length of box 2. So that specific location of that specific value of L, this L 3.5 will be stored at the location of length whose address is stored in the location of this. In the location of this, the address 100 related to box 1 is stored. So computer will approach to this address and store the value of L 3.3 in the location of this length, not at this length, because this pointer have the address of box 1, that is 100. And similarly, these two lines have the same effect. The value of L will be stored at the location of length whose address is stored in the location of this, and L, the value of L will be stored at the location of length by default whose address is stored in the location of this. The value of B will be stored in the location of breadth whose address is stored in the location of this. The value of H will be stored in the location of height whose address is stored in the location of this. So constructor will store all the three values at the location of length, breadth and height, whose address is 100. So 100 address is this one. So this length, breadth and height will have those value of L, B and H. Next, the second statement. In the response of this second statement, now these three values 8.5, 6.0 and 2.0 will be passed to that constructor. So what the constructor will do, this pointer will store the address of box 2, and here L will have the value 8.5, B will have the value 6.0 and H will have the value 2.0, box 2's values. So here again the value of L will be stored at the location of length, whose address is stored in the location of this. This has the address 200. So at the location of 200, the length will have the value of L 8.5. The breadth will have the value of B, that is 6.0, and H will have the value of length. Height will have the value of H 2.0. That height will have the value of H, that is 2.0, whose address is here in the memory of this pointer. So in this way, this constructor will store the two objects value in their respective memory locations. Now what happened in the next commands of the main program? After these two lines of code, computer will execute if else statement. Box 1 is the object, this one, calling to compare. So this pointer will store the address of box 1 in its memory. The value of box 2 is passing to this compare function. So this, the value of object box 2 will be passed to some other object which we are going to declare in the compare function. That function will accept the value of box 2, while the address of box 1 will be stored in the memory of this pointer. So what the compare function will return, we will come back here again. First we go to compare functions and see that what the compare function is going to return. If the compare function returns the value true, if the compare function returns a value true, then this first block, which is called if block, this will be executed, and if the compare function will return the value 0, then else block will be executed here. So what is the response of compare function? We see here, this is compare function, and as we have discussed earlier, this pointer has the address of box 1 because box 1 is calling to compare function, while the box 2, value of box 2 is passing to this object which we are going to create here in the compare function box, and this box, this is the class name, and this is the object box. This object box has its own address 300 and class memories length, breadth and height. So box 2 value is passed to this box object, and this box object will store those values in its memory 8.5, 6.0, 2.0. These values actually belongs to box 2, and now they have been stored here in the memory of local object box. What this line of code is doing, this pointer is calling to volume function. This is volume function, that is object is calling to volume function. Here box 2 is also calling to volume function. So one by one, what they will do, this firstly we see that this pointer is calling to volume function. So the volume function will follow, these are three variables which are without without prefix. So computer will follow the address of this pointer, and it will access the value of length, breadth and height stored at the location of 100. What is stored at the location of 100? At the location of 100, the value is of length is 3.3, 1.2 and 1.5. So computer will fetch those three values and multiply, and the result will be returned at this location. After the greater than symbol, box dot volume, this box object is calling to volume function, and this volume function is multiplying the length, breadth and height of this box object 8.5, 6.0 and 2.0. So after multiplying these three values, the result will be returned back here, and then the computer, this greater than symbol, will compare these two values. If first value is greater than this second value, then it will return true value, and if the first value is less than this second value, then the computer will return the false value. So what happened here? We see the execution of this program. Actually, computer, the first value is smaller and the second value is larger, so computer will return here the false value, that is the box 1 value is not greater than the box 2 values. So if the 0 is returned here, then computer will execute the else block and will display the message box 2 is equal to or larger than box 1. Box 2 is equal to or larger than, in this case larger than, box 2 is larger than box 1. After this we will see the execution of our box program in C environment, but first you may see here another program. The class name is sample, and this is the line code of sample class, and this is the main program. You have to try this line of code in C++ and see what are the results of this second example of this pointer, and try to understand it by your own. This was the end of our lecture. Before going to end, we close this lecture. I will try to execute our this pointer example in the C environment. Actually, in this C environment, some portions computers does not display because I have cropped and only recording the text and the specific portion which belongs to the PPT slides. So when I will execute this program, the some portion of the screen will be not covered by the camera, and I compile this box class and box program example. This is the detailed program of our box class, and this is the main program. So what is the result of this program? I run this program. Firstly I compare. You may see that there are no error in this program. So I run this program and you may see the result. So the result, the constructor2 constructor called the program, constructor called box2 is equal to or larger than the box1, that is else block has been executed and the message has displayed that box2 is equal to or larger than the box1. This was actually the end of our lectures number 9.